Okay. Hi. Thanks for joining today. My name is Cassie. I'm your host.
And I'm Kim. I'm the co-host.
You're watching In the Know, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Today we are joined by the Relationship Chronicles, Kiyomo. Okemo. Thank you for joining us today, hon. I just want to say that I've read, she has a children's book as well. It's a beautiful book.
Do you have it?
She also hosts a podcast, and her subject matter is relationships, and we hope to get some insight from her today and on what she does. Just give us a little introduction on you and what you do.
Well, my name is Okemo Manica. I am a certified school counselor, K-12, and a limited licensed practicing counselor.
Okay.
I DJ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, DJ quad on the ones and twos, period.
Okay.
Period. I'm an author. An author of a children's book called Music Is My World.
Aww.
It's so beautiful. You got to check it out. And of course, like you said, I have a podcast that I was doing during COVID. Because I'm an extrovert. I need to be talking and seeing people.
Okay.
So the podcast deals with men and listening to them, because that's something we don't do as women. I feel. So it was a podcast catered to the men.
Okay.
Being single, married, divorced, widow, and reinventing yourself.
Okay. So,
and of course, I work with different organizations, Building Better Men mentoring program, and I'm an advisor. I'm a part of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Period. Blue and gold. Okay. Okay. Y'all heard that? That she rose.
I know that's right, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just being in the community, helping the community.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful.
How do we get your book? I was looking up and I tried to find it, and I was like,
okay. So the book, you can contact me either through my social media, and it's on Square too.
Okay.
So
it's on where?
It's a link. It's on Square, and it's on Amazon. I have it on Amazon as an ebook.
Oh, wow.
So the ebook is $7.
I was on there and I couldn't
I'm
find
gonna help
it.
you find
Thank
it.
you. I want that.
Well, the first thing we discussed when I first talked to you
that was not typo. That's LLPC, Limited Licensed Professional Counselor.
Okay.
I was nervous.
That's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. So the second time we talked, actually, we were talking about love languages, and and you had me take the test.
Yes.
So I took the test.
What was the result?
Honey, it was quality time.
Yes.
Okay.
What was your second one?
My second one was, what was it? I got it written down here.
I don't know why I didn't write mine.
Oh my God.
I did the test.
Okay,
I
got it, but I don't know what I.
Now you should have done yours as a married woman. Did you do it?
Yeah, of
As a
course.
married
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
still
to know.
married.
I want
I
to
don't know what my
know.
Right
second
now.
was.
You know what?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you.
Okay,
Come
Tim,
on,
we
Bo.
gonna talk about it. We just,
Yes.
see what we can do.
So people that like quality time, they require undivided attention, and quality activities and quality conversations. How do you, since you had me focus on that, how do you dissect that love language when it comes to relationships?
Well, at first, if you're gonna get in a relationship, both of y'all should take the assessment.
So we should be on the same page.
Should be on, at least you will have you're familiar with it.
Okay,
so for example, you're in a relationship with someone. A lot of times we miss the cues. them little social cues. So, and then you like, well, he ain't paying attention to me. Well, that's not his love language. Could be totally something different.
Wow.
Like he could be a physical touch.
Uh-huh.
And if he physical touch and you ain't touching, hugging, massage maybe, or holding hands, that he really don't understand. You not speaking his language.
Wow.
Or he might get it somewhere else.
And he could go get it somewhere else.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, and that's what we don't want, right?
Yeah.
You have some people who believe in the love language, and you have some that don't.
Okay.
You know, and I'm cool, whatever. But for me, I want to know, because I want to make sure. Okay, first I have to disclose I've been married twice.
Okay.
Divorced twice.
Okay.
Sometimes I say the first one don't count because it was short.
Oh, I say that too.
Okay. However, you still an awesome baby daddy. No, I'm just saying. Because we have a beautiful son together. He's 21.
Nice.
Okay. The second one was 13 years.
Okay. Oh, you were married 13 years?
The second one was 13 years.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
However, we still had our issues too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If I can do it all over again, I would say, what would I do different? Listen. Pick up on those cues.
Okay.
Sometimes people show them and sometimes they don't. But what I need people to hear now, I need you all to communicate. I ain't got time to be trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Communicate, which means if you're ready to be married, say you're ready. If you're not, say I'm not.
Okay.
Don't just get into it for the sake of getting into it. And you don't really want to do that.
Exactly.
So my thing right now, I want to hear people, listen to people, understand people, and don't bring your representative. Be transparent.
Exactly.
Let me know you're a representative. Don't make decisions for one another.
Okay.
Let me make my own decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Well, I know you had this one subject matter. Well, you told me that would be definitely a good intro. Single, married, divorced, widowed, and how to reinvent ourselves. Reinvent ourselves. So, talk a little bit about those things, and how do you reinvent yourself after, for example, being divorced?
13 years. How do I find myself? Who am I?
Okay.
You know, sometimes you can lose yourself being married, which I try not to. You know what I'm saying? Because I still try to be with my friends, still try to function, right?
Okay.
But now being divorced, now I'm back in this world, and I'm like, whoa. Some of these men are still, it ain't nothing changed from 13 years. But now I have to maneuver different because now I'm a mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have children. So you have to operate a little bit different when you got children.
Absolutely. So when you say back in this world, are you talking about back
the
in the
dating
world?
scene?
Okay.
Back in the dating scene.
Okay.
Like, I came out like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? What we doing these days? Now I'm like, so I'm grateful for my friends because they said, no dating or chemo. Find yourself.
Okay.
That was the best advice.
Yeah.
Spend that time. I had one friend, he was like, for every year you were married, stay that month single. I said, dude, you talking about 13 months. But I got through it with the village.
Okay.
So just, spending a lot of more time with myself, figuring out myself, what I'm trying to do, where I'm going, what do I want? You know, because who want to keep going through these hardships?
Yeah.
You know, over and over again. Now I'm like, maybe it ain't them. It could be me.
Okay.
You know, and it's okay if it's you. It's okay to not be okay, too. It's okay to be single.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem being single. I feel like I am meant to be married. And I would say that here. That I'm not meant to be by myself. I'm okay to be by myself, but that's not my choice. That's not something I want.
Okay.
But I really want to be with somebody who enjoys family enjoys children because I love children.
Uh-huh.
Operate in the community. It's just, you have to sit back and say these things.
Yes.
What do you want?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't say I want somebody to take care of me. I take care of my own self.
I know that's right.
I'm not. If I want some money, I go take out a loan. Why I'm gonna go get you? I'm gonna go get a man to provide monies. Limited too. See, they don't. That's a whole nother topic. But if I want money, I go to the bank.
Exactly. Okay.
I'm just gonna say that.
I know that's right.
Because I have a son. I don't want nobody to want him to be in their life
just for that.
Just
I
for
got
money.
you.
You know what I'm saying? Go get a loan.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, go get a loan. No, you ain't gonna do my kids. I ain't gonna let my kids. But I got a daughter too.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with holding your own.
It's not. Absolutely not.
The Bible says that we are a help meet to the man.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have got construed somewhere where I see some women like they gonna take care of me. They gonna take. That ain't what the word says.
Mm-hmm.
The word says a help meet. So if he's working and he's caring, he needs a helper.
Okay.
Help me sometime. You can cause more stress and put more stress on a person because they're doing everything. They're not God.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't put this man in a position that he can't even handle.
Okay.
Same thing with a woman. Unless he say, baby, you know what? I got this.
Uh-huh.
He might, baby, I got this. But if he ain't saying that, then he needs some help.
Okay.
Help him. Just like you would help anybody else.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Help him. Help him. Help him with the household.
Mm-hmm.
Help him with the children. Help her with the children. Help her. If we can just work together, you know what I'm saying? Being married, I always say people looking on the other side of the fence, fake grass.
Okay.
Distortion.
Wow. Okay.
And you already got a relationship. Work on that. Quit looking on the other side, looking at what you looking at. That's a distortion because that's the enemy wants you to look on the other side.
Now let me ask you this. So when you say help, take care of yourself, like you said, take out a loan, don't.
Yeah, don't be.
Yes, I understand all of that. Great points. However, sometimes when you're independent or too independent of a person, you get labeled as what?
Strong.
Yeah. Well,
you're super strong. You
sometimes
don't
you get
need
a little.
man.
Sometimes you get that a lot.
I hear that.
You don't need a man. You
act like.
Yeah, you act like a man.
Act
okay.
like that.
You act like a man. Yeah, you acting like a man.
I don't know what a man act like, cause you got some men act like females.
Yes.
Okay, I can say you act like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
No, it's not fair.
That's not fair.
No, it's not fair.
So my thing is, go back to, if you don't want to accept the word, then go back to how you was raised.
Mm-hmm.
We all come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got grandparents, maybe the granddad worked, grandma didn't. Grandma stayed home, took care of the children. I heard that was the traditional way. Some men like the traditional way.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't have traditional women out here. We don't. We work.
Absolutely.
We go to school.
Yeah.
We got hustles. It's just things that we just not traditional. I'm a non-traditional woman.
So let me
just say that.
Let me ask you this. So with that being said, do you think the relationships are kind of stagnant, or where people's minds are kind of stagnant because women have evolved and started, doing more outside of the household and things like that? Do you think that's part of the problem as to why relationships are kind of sometimes rocky?
I think the relationships are staggered because people not healing.
Okay.
They leaving one relationship and getting into another relationship.
What do you think is a good time? We just discussed like the 13-month thing.
My thing is, take all the time you need.
Mm-hmm.
A divorce is a death. It's a death.
Yeah.
And when you divorce, don't make me cry. It's a death. You're no longer with that person anymore.
Uh-huh.
sometimes during death, things are, especially with children. Adults can kind of get along. Children can't.
Absolutely.
So you really still never. It's still a slow process because now you're not only healing for yourself, you're healing for the children, and then you're trying to help the children to cope and understand what really went on.
Mm-hmm.
So divorce. That's why in the Bible God says, "I hate divorce," because He knows the effects it has on the family.
Okay.
That's why I tell people, while you all looking across on the other side, pay attention to what's in front of you. If you want your marriage to work, go get help. Sometimes you may not can go together.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? Get it for yourself.
Okay.
Pray for your partner. Get it for your health. Because somebody got to be sane, mentally stable.
Yes.
Especially when you have children.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So divorce is another form of death. We say that with grief share. You know, death is not the literal death is something to deal with. But when you're dealing with divorce, you're dealing with another death.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard. I see it all the time in children. Even with people who's not married, I see it in children, working with children. Parents are dating. The children not happy with it because it's not their dad or it's not their mother.
Yeah.
But the parents, the adults don't see that. You know, we put children, we forget about the babies. We got to quit forgetting about the babies.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the children, Lord.
We got to take a quick station ID.
Okay. Hi, you're watching In the Know, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, share. Thanks for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
All right now. All right. Again, we are here with Okemo, with the Relationship Chronicles, and she has been giving us some insight on relationships today. Tell me this. Why we were talking about counseling and the importance of it. So what would you say is the purpose? What is the purpose of counseling? Of what's the purpose? What would you say the purpose is? Come on with it now.
The purpose of counseling, because I always recommend it.
Okay.
The purpose of counseling is allowing a third person to come in that you don't know to help you hear. Because first you
kind of mediator.
But first you're able, if the counselor is good, you will be able to hear some of the things and think about some of the things that you're doing.
Okay.
A lot of times we so used to talking to people, get answers. Counseling is not like that. We can't give advice. So when you hear somebody saying, I ain't going to counsel for them to tell me what to do, I'm like, who you talking to then? You're not talking to a counselor. They're telling you what to do. Because that's not what we do. We don't tell you what to do. We sit there and listen to you.
I gotcha.
So, for example, if you go to counseling, you say, well, I'm mad because my boss always on me. And you might say, well, were there other times in your life where you felt this way? And they might be like, yeah, because my mama was always on me. Really? Your mother too? So you got your mother, you got your boss. There's a pattern somewhere. So now they like, oh, there's a pattern. Well, let me think about it. What are you doing that's causing your boss to be on you or your mother to be on you?
Okay.
And then they may say, well, I'm always late. Dang, I'm late for my mama, my parents, my wife, my husband, and I'm late going to work. So you mad at who? I'm just ad-libbing. When in my head, I'm thinking, well, who should you really be mad at?
Yeah.
It's not them, it's you. So now you got to help that person understand what they are doing and help them do it differently.
Okay. So the purpose would be for a person to see what their behaviors are, basically.
And work towards some goals. What could you do? help them to develop goals. You don't give them goals. What would be some goals you would like to work on?
Okay.
And then they say, well, maybe one of my goals is set my alarm.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be their goal, because if it's not their goal, they're not going to do it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that you primarily, since COVID, you've been speaking to men regarding relationships.
Yes.
So men have been basically giving you the dirt on the women. Tell me something. Tell me something that you were surprised to hear. You know, in regards to when it comes to a relationship, from the male perspective. Tell me something that you were surprised to hear, or that you didn't, you know, or that you learned.
I would say what I learned was they have problems just like we do. You know, a lot of times they said, "Oh, I'm trying to go back." Like, we're emotional, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're emotional too. They just do it differently. Like, what I didn't understand, I learned. One of my guests said, they dealing with things on their job. Before they get off the job, they dealing with. Mama might have called.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a problem. Sister. So now they on their way home. What happened? They walk into a house where she or he is greeting one another. But you just don't realize all the things he just had been bombarded with before he walked in the door.
I got you.
So,
I got you.
I think that most times men don't, they don't tell you what's going on, you know? So if you don't say anything, if you're going through all this hell and this bull crap, then why the hell I'm here? You know, talk to me. What's up? Come on.
But we also
no.
But you also have to think about, what are you saying when they first walk in the door? What are you saying? You could have said, man, you left the house this morning and left the room a wreck. So now he like, hello?
Yeah, like I done been through all this and I ain't trying to hear that.
Right. Now I'm about to come in the house. I'm going to speak to the kids. And now I'm about to walk back out. I'll see you in a minute.
Wow.
Not in my house.
See you in a minute. And so now you like, what?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, dang, that's deep. I'm just hearing this
That
from
is very
myself.
deep.
I experienced that. So I'm like, well, dang, what could I have done different? So that's why it's important. Like one of my guests said, from a male, he surrounded himself with positive people. You know, because I remember one of my guests, he shared about child support. And so he had this one thing about child support. But because he had positive role models around him, they said, dude, just cut the check.
Yeah.
Just cut the check. And he said that's what he did.
Okay.
So it all depends on who you surrounding yourself to as you're going through.
So energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's one thing. We say men don't talk to people. Some of them don't. But again, some of them do. So, you know, they talking to somebody.
Oh,
No, they are.
They're talking to somebody.
They talking to somebody. You just pray that whoever they talking to is sowing into them.
Okay.
And,
So,
you know,
what are some of the non-verbal cues that you can pick up on?
ooh, my thing is I listen to people's breathing.
Really?
I can tell a lot.
Oh yeah, it definitely can. It can.
Listen.
Yes.
They be huffing and puffing.
I didn't think of that.
And
I
I'm
didn't
like,
think of that,
what's
but you
that
can
about?
definitely.
What's that about? And being
tell.
in this field, my antennas are really up.
Mm-hmm.
What was that about? Oh, honey, I'm fine. I said, I don't know if you fine, because you just did something. I need to know. But now you have to be patient with people. They don't want to talk about it. Just leave it alone.
Okay.
Until they ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
ain't time. I had
Okay.
to learn that. You know, my ex used to be like, you always want to know stuff. I do. I'm sorry. That's just the type of person I am.
Yeah.
So now I'm learning. Just give them their time.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think about the online dating thing? What do you?
Oh my goodness. Online dating. Fellas, can y'all put up a better profile picture? I'm just saying. These profile pictures, Lord. One thing I can say, I tried 3 sites, and they say what they want to say, no filter.
Okay.
And I'm like, dang, you just gonna say it like that? Like BBW or something.
Yeah,
Black women or something.
Okay.
I don't want it. And I'm reading these profiles. I'm like, really? Maybe we should start putting what we don't want. Like, I want you with a job. I want you with no extra baggage. I want you to pay your child support.
Yeah.
Don't holler at me if you smoking. I'm just saying. Because that's what I'm reading from them. So they say what they want to say.
Wow. I know that's right.
So online dating is just, you know, what it is. Online, you may match up with somebody and then you get to know them for whatever periods. But, you know, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's something.
It's an experience.
Really?
It can be overwhelming, too.
I had a couple girlfriends that did one of those sites, a couple of the sites or whatever. Actually, my one girlfriend, she actually married a guy on the site.
Yeah, I know some people who done that.
She actually
so
married a guy
match
on the site. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely something. Just a new way to.
Because my thing is, women, they're not going to come knock on your door. So it's just an avenue for you to meet people.
Okay.
That's it. You know, some people may say, well, I want this and I want that, but they're not making themselves like available. It's okay. I'm like, faith without works is dead. So why not? Why not try it, right?
Exactly.
If it work. If it don't, I have experience.
Yep. And then you were talking. We talked when we were on the phone. We talked about mental health and self care. I know that those two are definitely big, just for, like you said, so you can be a better person. You know what I'm saying? So just tell us a little bit about those two subjects.
Okay. Taking care of yourself, especially mentally, right? You can be all beautiful and effed up. I'm just saying. You just toe up from the floor up. As soon as you open your mouth, people are like, oh, what? Not this beautiful person.
Yeah.
Because they hurting. Hurt people. So how you gonna do? How you gonna be any good to anybody if you ain't good to yourself?
Exactly.
You have to forgive. One of them is forgiving. Forgiveness goes a long way.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with
what
that.
What if you can't forgive? I want to jump in.
Go ahead, jump in, boo. Jump in.
Okay, so if you have problems and you're, I don't know, and you're going through things and you're having the worst and you want to, I mean, I've been married before, and I don't have children by my husband now, but maybe I shouldn't even say all of that. So, I mean, what's your advice? How do you think? How do you think someone would go about just being able to forgive? And when I say forgive, it's hard because a lot of times the same shit come up again. So how am I gonna? You know what I'm saying? That's hard. And I don't know, like, what's the final answer to that?
Well, I would say if it's a marriage, what did we say? Go to counseling. So you have to go. I would recommend, if the marriage is worth saving, go to counseling. Because one thing you can't control is another person.
How would you? What would you consider salvageable?
I don't know. What does salvageable mean?
Worth saving.
Is it worth saving? You only know that. Only that person knows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a different degree for every situation.
Yeah, every
Right,
relationship
right.
is different.
Okay.
Every relationship is different.
Okay, so you wouldn't just say, okay, so my husband cheated, I'm just gonna divorce him.
No.
So every
some
people
might
do that.
Some people might.
Yeah.
But some people may not. Some people might say, okay, you messed up. You human.
Mhm.
Okay, what's next?
I got you.
I'm just saying, what's next? You
Yeah.
messed up. Do you see yourself being with her again? If you see yourself being with her or him again, then maybe it's time for us to part ways so you can be with that person.
Okay.
That's salvaging a friendship.
I got you.
I've tried to do that, but anyway, I want to ask you something else. I have
Okay.
little grandbabies, twin boys, and sometimes I think that they're I don't know. I want to know, because I know you work with kids. When is a behavior too much? When they need to go and just get some counseling, or the mom need counseling, or dad. So, I mean, when? Because I'm talking about 2 almost 3-year-old kids. So, like, when is it enough? When?
Well, first with children. Okay, that they're that young.
Yes.
I don't know what they could be experiencing that will warrant
Yeah.
counseling. I don't know. Counseling or I don't know. So let's talk about, hypothetically, let's speak on children that's like of age like 6, 7.
Okay.
Maybe they have experienced a divorce. So now they no longer see mom or dad, whoever divorced.
Mhm.
And so now their behaviors could be acting out. They could be hurting themselves, cutting. They could be poor grades. That warrants counseling. That warrants them speaking to someone. Maybe, if we want to talk about abuse, wedding on themselves and things like that, that warrants it. Maybe now I'm talking about a child who's never wet on themselves ever before.
Okay.
So if they're doing this wedding on themselves and things like that, that's a sign of counseling.
Okay.
A lot of things, some children are not verbal. And maybe you had a child that was verbal, now it's not verbal. That warrants counseling.
I got
Something
you.
is going on. But just be prepared for what they say also. You know, a lot of times adults hear their child feel a certain kind of way and they get offensive. Or they get offended. And it's like, no, that's not the time. I need you to hear your child. So just hear what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so love on them.
I got
Help
you.
them to understand that what's going on is not about them. You know, 'cause, children see a lot. And they
Okay.
might blame themselves for whatever happened.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, so you were saying that you don't give advice, right?
Right. we
Right.
don't do advice.
So if someone, hypothetically,
Mhm.
if someone was just doing behavior that was promiscuous, just doing all kinds of stuff, and you're counseling the man and the woman as a couple, and then you counsel them separately too, and you find out that the man or you
Or
know
woman.
that
It
the
can be
man,
either one.
well, yeah, or either one, is doing this promiscuous behavior. At that point, I think that it would be endangering the life of the other person. So, would you say anything? Would you have an obligation to speak to them on that?
Our only obligation is if you're gonna cause harm to yourself
Or
others,
someone else.
mentally, impaired or something like that, then we obligated.
So
to
if
say
someone was doing that, that's causing harm to the other person.
So in that case, you would say, John, I noticed that you're being a little promiscuous. So, John, do you know how that's making your wife feel or your husband feel? Do you know how that is affecting? And a lot of times they may not know.
Mm-hmm.
So you just bring it to their attention. This is hurting me. This is causing me harm. And
I think
then
communication is key.
Communication is real key. So
It's the only thing that matters, and honesty to me.
right. So if they are doing these things, then hey, there's some we need to have talks.
Yes.
And then you have to be ready for the answer. And then you have to make the decision. The counselor can't make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you, girl, you crazy for dealing with that. I might want to say that, but I ain't going to say that.
Exactly.
Because
I'm
not
glad I
in it.
wasn't a counselor, because that's what I
No,
wanted
I'm
to
not
do.
going to say that. I'm not going to say it. That's up to you.
would
Because
be
you will
a
never
mess.
come back to me
Say,
and
you
say,
messed up my
you
marriage."
messed up my marriage. You told me to do something, and I
Exactly.
did it. No, you're not going to say that. Not on me.
Mm-hmm. So you said you basically let the the person in the seat kind of listen to their self and understand what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And why are you doing it? We
Yeah.
can't say why, but you, as you're processing, you begin to say, well, yeah, I recognize that.
And so if they say, okay, yeah.
So, for example, if John say, I do this because my wife don't do A, B, C, and D,
Uh-huh.
now what? He's
Yeah.
telling you now.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
telling you. Now, you going to either sit there and play like you just didn't hear this
So
man.
you saying the wife
Or-
though?
It can be either or.
I'm-
If they tell you, this is why I'm promiscuous, because you A, B, C, and D.
Mm-hmm.
Now what you gonna do with it? Are you gonna change your ways, husband or wife? If you say I ain't about to do all that,
You
you
ain't
do,
giving it up.
You ain't. You do you. You do you. So now he's gonna continue to do what he want to do.
Okay.
Now he's still married or she's still married and he's still doing what he want to do. Now what? Are you okay with it? Are you saying you're okay with his behavior because you're in it? Or have you put yourself in a mindset where you're functioning in dysfunction? That can happen.
Yeah.
You can get so creative that you're functioning in a dysfunctional situation.
Yeah.
He ain't never home, or he's spending the night out, but
Mhm.
you functioning in a dysfunctional situation
Yeah.
until something clicks and register. This is not how it's supposed to be, and then somebody leaves. You know what I'm saying? Until then, you keep living. Keep doing whatever you
In the
did
dysfunction.
in the dysfunction.
Yeah.
Only you know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends might see that it's so dysfunctional, it's effed up. They might see it, but if you don't see it, me telling you ain't gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
You can try to pull people out of situations. You know that's hurting them.
Mhm.
You know it's not working. But if they not pulling to help them, then what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do? I hear people say, stay out of people's business. Well, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray for you.
I know that's right.
And try to give you some strength in your dysfunction. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they the only one know it.
Mhm.
What's staying in it doing for you? That's the question.
That is a great question. What is
it
staying
doing?
in it doing for you?
What is it doing
Mhm.
for you?
I
Mhm.
feel like everyone's talking me.
Wow.
Any way.
What's staying in it doing for you?
Well, that's a good question, and I'm sure
It
a lot of
really
people
is.
probably like, the
Smacking
light bulb
themselves right.
came
Yup,
on.
that's it. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, the light bulb came on. Well, I think most people can say companionship. A lot of people don't want to be alone, or we discussed money earlier, like people basically buying a person's love or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think it could be several reasons. several things.
And that's
yeah.
the process. Even with myself, I have to ask myself those questions. Like, so you say you want to be in a relationship. What is your reason? What is your purpose?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a lot of things you have to ask yourself.
Okay, and be honest too.
And
I'm
be
sure.
honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I can still kick it. You go to your place, I go to my place. We good. That's companionship. That's a friendship.
Yeah.
You want something long term? Get a dog. Oh no, I'm just. I got a dog. I'm just saying. You know, they say a dog is a man's best friend. It's a woman's best friend too.
Yep.
So.
I know my boy is.
Yeah,
Sure
so
is. Yep.
do what makes you happy. At the end of the day, if you don't have your peace, you don't have any joy, you chaos, you got a bunch of chaos going on, you need to figure it out. You need to figure it out.
Now talk about from a health perspective, all the stress, all the
Yeah, stress kills.
absolutely.
It's the number one killer out here is stress. If you stressed about your husband coming home or your wife coming home at night, you need to rethink some things. If the relationship you're in is causing you to work harder, not smarter, you can't even think smarter because you're working so hard.
Yeah.
You need to reevaluate some things. If it is causing you to forget things, lose things, you might be kind of psychotic. You need to rethink some things. Your health is so important. Like, some people are finding themselves unhealthy and they're eating. They're not sleeping because the relationship is so sour.
Yes.
And they're like, and a lot of it is fear. They're afraid. Girls, boy, what? They're afraid.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't die in it.
Exactly.
Don't die in it.
Wow.
Don't allow somebody to make a decision whether you living. I can't live without you, but you killing me slowly because you don't want to be with me. And that's a lot of people. They're in relationships that person do not want to be with them. No, I don't know what's this thing about people filing for a divorce. File. Go online. Free legal aid will help you if that's your route, if that's your go-to.
Okay.
And it's just my personal. Sometimes people need a break from each other. If it's meant for y'all to be back, if it's meant for y'all to be together, it'll come back. You'll find your way back to one another. But for the sake of high blood pressure, diabetes, all this medical stuff going on with people, there's a reason for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Out. You're not living. You're not living. You on survival mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're trying to survive. Because maybe that person income is what's keeping y'all alive. Maybe you're afraid to go back to school. Maybe you're afraid to get a second job. I don't know what it is. Somebody's afraid to do something. Make them move.
Yeah.
You know, make them move.
To become unstuck, basically.
They're stuck. They don't know how to get out. Don't even get the church involved, because some people don't divorce because they feel like they've been a failed God. That's a whole nother thing right there. Yeah. The Lord loves you. He always loves you. He always will. He hates divorce, but he ain't, my thing is he loves you. He ain't abusive to you. If you're being beat on, you need to leave. I have to say that. If it's physical, you got to leave. Don't stay anything that's physical. If it's not physical, then you need to figure it out. Is this healthy? Are you losing your hair? Are you losing your mind? One or the other. Or are you losing yourself?
Okay. I got you. Now, I know that I'm going to go back again
My
to
hair is like this
so
because I have
It's
because I have
girl.
you
Girl. girl. You
Anywhere,
beautiful. You got some. You just got some folks going through some things out, and I just want them to heal.
Yeah.
Before you go into another relationship, heal.
Because if you don't, you're gonna bring
Carry
the same.
it.
Yeah, you're gonna carry the same stuff.
I told a friend of mine, he's not him, so don't treat him like he's him.
Wow.
She's not her, so don't treat her like it.
Okay.
You might have some similarities. Something might trigger you, so you have to know your triggers. So recognize your triggers, heal, and communicate. Listen to people. It's okay to let them know your expectations. Set boundaries. You know, do what you're protecting you.
Exactly.
You're protecting you, and it's
Yes.
okay for that. And if he or she is not it, after y'all probably been dating for a minute, you might figure out this ain't what I want. It's okay to say, you know what? Let's have a talk. Don't ghost them. Some people do that.
What's go?
You just fall off the grid. You
Okay.
fall off the grid. You like no phone calls, no text messages.
Facebook, no.
Yeah, you just didn't
You're gone.
disappear.
Wow.
That's stress.
Yeah.
That's very stressful for people. Some people don't care. But if you an empath like me, I care about everything.
What did you call yourself?
An empath. Like I really EMPATH. I really care about people.
Okay.
So if I don't hear from you, I might call you. I feel a lot. I can feel your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Feel your hurt.
Yeah.
That's what so it can be a lot for me too. So that's what boundaries are for.
I got you.
Like just be straight up with me. This what we doing? Let me make the decision.
Wow. Deep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take another station identification break. You're watching In the Know Live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, subscribe, share, and share again. And subscribe and share again. We want you to share this. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Period. Boo.
Period.
Period.
Okay.
Period.
So I want to bring this up.
Come on with it, baby.
Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Sometimes we're harder on ourselves. It's okay to, if a relationship didn't work out, it's okay. If a marriage didn't work out, it's okay. Forgive yourself. A lot of times we beat ourselves up. We constantly beat ourselves up about something that didn't work. And sometimes, and let me tell you something else. It's called life.
Okay. What would you say the foundation of how a person's, how they see relationships, how they act in relationships? What would you say how would you say that foundation is built? Do you think it starts, where do you think it starts at? How do you think that foundation is built?
From when they reared.
Okay.
From when they first come into this world. Our parents is our foundation. To be honest, my first foundation was my relationship with my mother. That's why you might say people with daddy issues.
Okay.
People with mommy issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's that, the Oedipus?
I don't know what it is.
Oedipus complex.
I guess. I'm just going to tell you like that. That's your first relationship.
Okay.
And then you have choices, though. Just because your daddy wasn't there doesn't mean you're going to be a bad father. Just because your mother wasn't there or your mother was on drugs don't mean you're going to be a drug addict. You're going to be an alcoholic. You're gonna abandon your children or whatever the case may be, because that's what we mirror ourselves off of. Just because your foundation was in the hood don't mean you're gonna always be in the hood.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
So you determine what's healthy for you, what you want your relationships to look like.
Okay.
Just because you was reared by a liar don't mean you gotta be a
liar. Yes.
They call them generational curses. So how do you break them? Do the opposite of what was done to you. don't fall in the trap of my daddy wasn't there, so I ain't gonna be there for my kids, or my mother wasn't there, I ain't gonna be there. No, you have a choice to change things. So relationships are important to me. Why? Because I seen what not having a relationship look like.
Okay.
I know what it looks like to be raised by somebody that's bitter. They're hurting.
Yes.
Hurt people. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So, like with my children, they always add it. I'm like, you're going to always need each other.
Mm-hmm.
Stop arguing with each other. Talk to each other, trying to help them.
Yeah.
But relationships, I feel they're very important. Some might be for seasons. Some are for particular reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I have this thing, place people in your life accordingly. Like a file cabinet.
Okay.
File people the way of their importance.
Wow.
I'd rather file you in the importance than to let you go. Which means you might not be up in the A section, but you found in there.
Okay.
You're found in there where, you only, I hear people say they only deal with you when you're needed.
Mm-hmm.
They filed you accordingly. Don't make it so bad. It ain't a bad thing. They see where your strengths are, and they deal with you accordingly.
Yeah.
That's all they doing.
Okay.
It's called a boundary. That's what it's called.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
But when somebody just call you when they need money and shit like that.
No, it's with boundaries. Like if I had to put in my head, what am I willing to loan? What am I willing to give?
Okay.
So if your goal is $100, and you like, you might say, oh, Chemo, I need $100.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chemo need to figure out first how she gonna do this thing. Because I don't like hunting people down for money. So I'm gonna give you what I can give you without looking for it back.
Okay.
Salvage a relationship.
Yep,
Bam.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because now I ain't mad at you over no money.
Right.
Because I gave you what I wanted you to have.
Mm-hmm.
You have that much control over relationships. He keep doing what he doing. You know what? You done did it a little bit too many times. I'm going to let you go ahead and be with her. Go ahead, boo. Do you.
Okay.
Now, savage of friendship.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to get rid of it, but you still like, you know what? It's been good.
Yeah.
You was better for her than you was for me.
Exactly.
And you at peace. Are you happy? I can tell you happy. I'm glad it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get there overnight. I was angry.
Oh, you said you didn't get there overnight.
I didn't get there overnight. The Lord told me to forgive. Because let me tell you, when you're operating out of bitterness, it can be people can see.
Okay.
You might say, don't come on my porch. I don't even want you in my car. How about you pick the kids up at McDonald's? See all that? That's all animosity. That's like a whole lot of, for me. Somebody else, it may not be, but for me. And the Lord just he was like, what is you doing? What are you doing? Stop doing that. Forgive him. Forgive him. I'm like, forgive him or you will lose me. Period. I have to conclude that.
Wow.
So I was like, I can't lose my relationship with God. That can't be. That's one relationship ain't up for grabs.
So when you forgave,
God was calling them, like, you know what? I forgive you. And I was specific. Like I had to let him know what it was.
How long before?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay.
It took about 3 weeks, and it was out of my system. The best thing I could have done.
Wow.
The best thing I could have done.
I had a situation like that. I was, not speaking to somebody for like 2 years or something. And just this year, I was like, okay, you know what? Actually, I kind of forgot the reason why I was mad at him.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
but, I was like, you know what? I forgive you, or hey, let's talk, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I did. I literally forgot. So when I say that, it must not been that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It must
not. I'm gonna tell you this. When you operate in unforgiveness, it's terrible. Cause I could tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
like, that ain't you. You mad. You
Yeah.
mad. You mad.
Yeah.
This woman and destroyed your marriage. You mad. You got a right to be mad. But
Okay.
he don't want you to carry it on like
Yeah, absolutely. So today you have been watching In the Know. We had the relationship counselor Okemo on today. She gave us some really good advice on relationship. Okemo, give us a out. Give us an out, baby.
What okay.
What's your final words?
Final words?
Yes.
Forgive, and reinvent yourself and move forward.
And where can we find you at, sweetie?
Facebook, Okemo Manica, or Relationship Chronicles on Instagram.
And where's that book?
My book, hit me up on Facebook. OkemoManica.eds. Yeah, Okemomanica EDS.
Wonderful, wonderful. Again, you're watching In the Know. You can
And
watch
Amazon.
And Amazon, y'all. Fridays at 6 p.m. on Wjzz Cool TV. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.